Hi, my name is Karen Fabian and I'm the founder of Bare Bones Yoga, and I want to welcome you to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be talking a little bit today about some tips that yoga teachers can bring into their classes when working with beginners. Here it is, the beginning of January 2019, and there are a lot of people who are going to be starting yoga. It's one of the more common New Year's resolutions, especially now that even things like meditation are kind of having more exposure. There are quite a few applications you can download on your phone for meditation, and so yoga practice is definitely something that people are going to be taking on. And so as a teacher, if you're a little bit unsure about how to teach to beginners, I'm going to give you a couple of easy tips that you can integrate into your classes. So the first thing is, because we do a lot of similar movements in class, especially something like moving people from high push-up to low push-up, it's an area where there can be a lot of different things that a student needs to learn in order to do it well. And so what can be helpful for teachers is, as you're presenting that movement multiple times throughout your class, break it down in different ways, giving them different cues along the way, rather than the first time you present it, overloading them with a lot of information about that particular movement. And also slow it down in the beginning of your class, and then as you proceed, you can kind of pick up the pace a little bit. So I'll do the movement as I'm talking through some of the cues you can think about using. So the first time you move people through it, you could take them up, saying reach the arms high, forward fold. You could then say halfway up, step into plank. You could hold them in plank and ask them to press down into the ground and continue that pressing down as they come forward, and then lower them all the way to their belly that first time. Give them a chance, talk to them about stacking the elbows over the wrists, pointing the toes, and then lift them into upward dog and press them back into down dog. So here in that first presentation of moving from high to low push-up, you've removed one of the most challenging pieces, which is asking them to lower to a hover. And you've just brought them all the way down to their belly. The next time you do it, you could have them come to plank. You could say to them, you can come again to your belly or just go a little bit down. As you lower, press into the ground like you did before and hug your elbows in by your sides. Pointing your toes, lift into upward dog, and then press into down dog. So there, you've introduced the concept of just lowering a little bit, and you've given them a different cue of hugging the elbows in. That might be enough. You might also, if you teach one or two more, and you see a lot of people struggling, you might actually break them down and show them in a moment where they're not doing any yoga and they're just watching you. I oftentimes do this if I see people moving from high to low push-up like this. And that can be really common because people are looking down at their phones so much that they oftentimes have weak extensors in their neck. And it's hard for them to keep that orientation of the head still. So you could even cue them to keep the head still by pressing into the floor as you lower down rather than letting the head drop. You could also, as I said before, stop them and actually show them the wrong way and then show them the right way and then bring them into downward dog and move them through the sequence. So that's one idea. The other idea is to have them work a wider base. So for something like Warrior One, rather than having them heel to heel or heel to instep, have them widen their base. You're definitely going to use that in Crescent Lunge, so use it in something like Warrior as well. I wouldn't use it in Warrior Two. That pose with this side opening position does ask for more of a narrow base. And you can explain that to your students. It's really helpful to tell them why you're asking them to do what you're asking them to do, so they can understand the why behind the alignment, and it really will sink in a little bit more. Another thing you can do is integrate cueing to the block as they're moving around. So rather than what they probably think, which is blocks are just for beginners, which is definitely not true, just have them use the block as part of their practice. So as you cue them into crescent twist, for instance, you could say, bring your hands to your heart, bring your left hand down to a block, set the block on the little edge, press into the block and begin to twist open. So here, I've just stuck the reference to the block into the cues. It's really, just a way to help people understand that the block is just part of what you're doing. And the other thing is, you can, again, explain to them why you're asking them to use the block. So here you could say, the reason I'm having you use the block is because I don't want you to hunch in this pose. I want you to open those those muscles of the inner shoulder on the front of the body, and the closer you are to the ground, it's going to be easier for you to hunch. So here, with the block, you can lift away from the floor and open up those tight muscles. So these are muscles like part of the rotator cuff called the subscapularis, which sits on the inside of the shoulder blade and turns the shoulder in. This way with the block, they can open up the shoulders. So if you've liked these tips, I'm going to include a link to my book called Structure and Spirit, which you can get on my website, barebonesyoga.com, and you can also get on Amazon. And this book is filled with structural cues and information about yoga practice, and also spiritual themes as well. And it's got meditation exercises and journaling exercises, so reading it is really kind of a full experience. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, just send me an email, Karen@barebonesyoga.com. Namaste.